What up, y'all? This is this is going to be a good one, I think. Let me just check that my audio is coming through my mic. No, it's not.
There we go. That should be better. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Okay. I don't know. Right. So today we shall talk about the perfect link, what it is, what it looks like, and how to fucking get them. So the first thing. Yo, what's up? I can't read that. Sorry, Prakash. We're going to show you how to build the perfect link and what it actually looks like, because a lot of people don't know. This is sort of like 10 years of testing, and I first uncovered these results 6 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that. And I test it every single year and it stays the same. So this is what the perfect link looks like as of the end of February this year. So here we go. Actually, something interesting as well. If you want to see me do some of this and you want to give me some money, which, that would be grateful. I'd be grateful for that. Thank you. I'm starting a school. So let me put that in the comments, the link to it. There are no members yet. I'm still building it. But it's very, very cool. And yes, it is called Dan Ray's Super Cool School. All right, the link to that should be in the comments. It's 50 quid a month still. It's the same as my monthly membership thing. But in 2 weeks' time, when it's actually ready, I'm still uploading all the courses. I have 5 in there so far. There's going to be a total of 9, I think. Yeah, in 2 weeks' time, when the free trial is up and I have to start paying for it, I'm going to raise the price to £95. So get in now. And you will be grandfathered in forever at the same price. What are links? I should go for local business. They're the same as any other backlinks, to be honest. If you follow this strategy, you'll be absolutely fine. There is a more specific element of geographic location. So if you can get links that are relevant to the topic, but also relevant to the location, that's even a better link for those. But we're not talking about local really on this. But these links are going to be perfect for that as well. But you can add the location variable. So let's tell you what the perfect link actually looks like. Let's get through this. So first off, this is something that people overlook a lot, right? The page itself needs to be optimized for your target keyword. If you're trying to rank for e-bikes, you need to be on a page that is trying to target the same keyword, e-bikes. A link from a page that is optimized and ranks for that keyword is going to be more effective than one that isn't. That's just basic, right? So to talk about this a little bit further, can you get access to the page in order to make edits, right? The way that we tend to do this is to say, if you allow me to optimize this page for you, you will get more traffic and I'll do it for free. And not only do you do it for free, you pay them extra. So you give them whatever your normal link cost would be. So let's say $50. You say, I'll give you 70. You let me optimize the page. You get more traffic to it and you get more money for it. That's kind of the only way to do it other than buying PBNs or to rent or buy a page that already ranks. Both of those things are way more stress, way more expensive, and much, much harder to do. So the kind of optimal way to do it is to just pay extra and get your normal link. However, ask to optimize the page. So this next one is more important than you would imagine. However, not important enough to put a whole lot of effort into it. So it's going to be diminishing returns. But if if you're playing those games where it's like the tiniest little increment will help you, so in really hard to rank niches or you're going against a fucking big boy, this is something to consider, but don't put too much focus on it, right? The earlier in the page load speed, sorry, the earlier in the code that a page is load, let me start that again. The link needs to be within the first 50 to 100 kilobytes of page load. The earlier in this it is, the more effective the link will be. Now, the only way in which this really becomes relevant or something you can change is if you own the site itself. So PBNs, right? Even if you pay extra to somebody to rent their page or buy their page or pay extra in terms of like extra to optimize the page, you still won't get access to change the way the code is structured on the site. So you want these sites where the body is loaded first above the header and of the footer. Ideally, that's how you do it. Body, header, footer, but header, body, footer is the second best. Most sites that you get are going to be header, footer, then body, because they like to load all the extra tags and stuff. Hard to find, but if you're in really competitive niches, worth looking at. You obviously want the exact anchor. If you are building a link to squeeze the most amount of power from a page, obviously you want it to rank for the exact keyword, and the exact anchor helps you do that. That's really obvious. I shouldn't really need to say that, but we're putting the 5 factors in play, right? You want to be the only link on the page. So we're talking, if there are 3 links on a page, whatever authority or whatever you want to call it, juice, power, whatever that page has is spread equally between those links. If you're the only one, you get more of that authority passed. There you go. And obviously, juice, authority, I don't know what to call it these days. I like authority, maybe. It comes from the link profile that that page has or that site has. So we're talking, does it also have all of these things, the 4 previous things, links going into it? And what's important to notice with all of this as a whole, you're never going to find a page that exists like this in the wild. You have to make it. There are none of these that just exist that you can go and buy a link on. You have to create them. So you don't need to be perfect, but you want to be as close to this as possible. This is the ideal. You want to get as close to it as you can. Now, there are obviously other things at play. I'm assuming here you've already watched the prospecting training and that you know what a good site looks like to even get to this stage where you want a link on it, right? This is once you've already seen all of the prospecting parts. And I'll talk about them in a second. Here they are. So if you put these 7 things in play whilst prospecting, and then you put the other 5 things in play once you've prospected and you've decided that that link meets your criteria, these are the perfect setup for a link. So do perfect prospecting, build the perfect link, and that's how you squeeze every single last drop out of authority of a link. So we're talking, you go from a normal link that's like giving you, let's say, power, like we're making up a power scale, right? So a normal link will get you maybe 5. You do all this prospecting, that normal link then goes up to a 7. You then do the perfect link strategy and you're talking about 9. So to go from a 5 to a 9 is significant. And if every link that you do, if you're doing 10, 15 links a month, that's a huge, huge incremental increase. So let's talk about this. The basic metrics, right? We don't really care about these. If you're building links for your clients, then they're going to matter. So we'll go DR between 30 and 70. traffic 500 plus. Anything beyond that is just personal preference and whatever your clients want. We want no links to naughty sites. So if they're linking to gambling, finance, adult, drugs, we don't want to be on sites like that. We don't want to be associated with those type of things, right? They should have had no recent traffic drops. These indicate algorithmic or manual penalties. Say there's been like 2 years ago, they had like a 50% drop and they've sort of rebuilt or stayed steady from there. That's okay. We're looking for no recent algorithmic drop. So last 6 months, last 3 months, if you're being more granular, because don't forget, a month ago, a load of sites fucking died, right? So no recent, and the keyword there is recent traffic drops. The traffic that you want that is visiting the site should come from the country that you are targeting. That's just a no-brainer for me, but it's something that people overlook a lot. We want our site to actually have internal links pointing to it. Maybe in the navigation menu is ideal, but you should be able to access the site just by clicking and not typing anything. If you have to type the URL into the address bar, it's an orphan page if that's the only way to find it. We don't want those because they don't have any authority coming to them from the site itself. And we want real sites, right? I call them honey dicks when they exist just to bait you into links. So they have like good traffic, good DR, but it's all coming from like shit places that are completely irrelevant, but it looks good. If you have a quick look at Ahrefs, you go, oh shit, that's a good site. We don't want these. Real sites that real people visit to find real information. That's the goal. And no general or magazine sites. This is more of a personal preference for me, but I want the whole site to be about whatever the topic is. If you're just going on a site and it's got like, it talks about cars and homes and cleaning and working out, all these things, there's no focus, and the traffic to that site is going to be misleading because they're not necessarily going to be interested in your part of the site, the thing that you're interested in. So personal preference, I don't like these sites. However, you can do newspapers. Newspapers are absolutely fine. And here's how we get them. There are generally 4 ways, right? And there are probably more than this, but these are going to be the 4 most common ways, right? PBNs. PBNs are hard to find. They're expensive. They are perfect, though. You generally will get a perfect link on a PBN or be able to talk to the owner and say, here's what I want from the page. And they will make those changes for you. Very, very hard to find, very expensive. If you're building and managing your own, very, very hard to do because it's the same effort as running a real business. But you do have complete control, which is fantastic. So PBNs are a great way to do this. However, very, very expensive and very actually hard to do. The second is socials and parasites. You have very little control of them. That's the problem. However, they do rank for keywords, and that's kind of exactly what we're looking for. They're going to be optimized. They're going to actually rank, which is great. However, you have no control. You can't control where your link is on the page. You don't control if it's follow or no follow. Like, I don't really like them, but they do work well sometimes. You can then go and buy or rent a page that already exists. So if somebody's already ranking for, let's say, we're talking about e-bikes, right? If somebody's already ranking for the term e-bikes in, let's say, Canada, I'm sure that person, if they're not making a lot of money from that page, they will happily like rent it or sell it to you. You can then, your options are 301 the page to whatever you're going to rank, and they're therefore just stealing it, right? It's a direct transfer. They rank number 1, now you rank number 1. However, I would argue that a more suitable and probably a more long-term strategy would be to optimize the page like we spoke about earlier, or it probably is already quite well optimized because it's ranking number 1. And put a link on it. Put a perfect link on it to your page and pass a whole bunch of that authority, because that will last longer than a 301. If the 301 is removed, if you stop renting it, for example, or you've bought it and people aren't super, it's not super long-term thing. So if you're only buying one page, you don't really ever have control over it. The link will last you longer. However, you will have complete control of the page, so you can do whatever you want with it. They might be temporary and very difficult to negotiate this kind of deal. It's hard to buy or rent one single page on a website. Much, much easier, but also way more expensive to buy the entire site. So let's talk about the Dan Rate way. Here's what I'm going to do, and here's how you should probably do it as well. Do it through normal link building outreach. All of the strategies I've taught you in the past, just do normal link building and just pay them extra and say, I want to control this page. Will you let me do it? You'll get more traffic. I'll pay you more. And that's how you do it. You can have control over a lot of these things. The thing you will lose with this. Where is it? There we go. The thing you will lose with this is the ability to be the only link on the page, which is somewhat important. You never had control over number 2. The link is within the first 50 to 100 kilobytes of the page load. You can get the optimization, which is important. You can get the exact anchor, and you probably think it's going to have a good link profile based on the original information that you looked for in the prospecting, right? In these things. So you do lose some of the things. However, we're only trying to get as close to that as possible. We don't necessarily need to be perfect. Just try and aim for it. This is the best solution and what I do and what I would do if I were you moving forward. Again, if you want to see me do this, I have put the link to my new school. There are no members so far, so you could be number 1. And I think actually, right, so here's what I did when I launched my monthly membership. The first 10 people in there will get everything I ever release from now on completely free. I might regret that because I am planning on doing a £2,000 course. So I'm going to give away 20 grand's worth of course. However, fuck it, why not? Right. And I did uphold this because I'm still giving free stuff to the people who signed up to my monthly membership, 7, 8 years ago? Good deal. If you sign up in 2 weeks, it'll be £95. If you sign up today, you get it for 50 forever. So, right, that's the perfect link. That's what it looks like. And this is me signing the fuck out. And that's me fighting my way to the perfect link. So yeah, that's that. I'll probably see you on Wednesday. I'm gonna do a cool thing on Wednesday. So hopefully I'll see you then. Peace.